stop dancing, can you?
No, I can't. I've got to keep practicing my routine because I'm so far behind. I just had a new leg made with a socket, and we're 2 days behind. We got 6 hours to learn the routine in.
Gosh.
So I'm keep going over my moves all the time.
And you're practicing in the kitchen and all that sort of thing.
Everywhere you don't really want to know.
No, okay, okay. Wherever's good for you, is it?
Yeah.
Dancing on ice, the whole experience. Are you enjoying it, or is it torture?
I love it. I love it.
Do you?
I must love it. I've snapped off the bottom of my 11th rib. These 2 ribs were fractured, and I tore my rotator cuff and shifted out my pelvis. And then I thought, I think I better stop now. But then I woke up in the morning, I saw my skates and all my little outfits set out, and I thought, maybe I'll just take 1 day at a time.
Yeah.
And then it turned into 2 days, 3 days, and then I managed to do the conga and the Madonna Frozen, and somehow, and it's just great fun. And every week we stay in, we get more money for our charity, so that made me more motivated.
Yeah, and Mikey Graham from Ireland.
Can I say hello to Mikey's family? Because his sister came up to me and she had the greatest silver eyeshadow on, which will go with my next costume. And I was like, where did you get that silver eyeshadow from? She went, oh, I got it in my bag. And she gave it to me. So hi to all Mikey's family. He's fabulous. And you get on well with them, obviously. And amazing. Everyone's so supportive.
The first time I saw you dancing in recent years, seeing as you're on a dancing buzz at the moment, is Dancing with the Stars in the States. And how was that for you? I mean,
that was about 1 billion times easier than this.
Why?
Because you're on solid ground.
Yes.
And when you move, the floor doesn't move beneath you. Whereas when you're skating, for everyone that's experienced the snow, finally people have some understanding of what it's like to get to the car without falling over.
Yes.
So it's like that, but trying to dance, it doesn't matter how well you can dance. If your feet don't know how to be on the ice, you just go flying. Suffice to say, everyone's having injuries.
You're a good dancer, Heather.
I'm not bad.
You're not bad.
I'm not bad, especially in the bathroom in the morning.
Yeah, I think we should see. Do you want to see a bit of this now? This is of course, from the American program, which we're looking at, Dancing with the Stars. Good work.
That was great fun, but I felt like I'd come out like King Arthur with this heavy stuff on, and I was like trying to move my hips. So
you had your hands full at that time of your life, weren't you? When you were going through the...
I was going through the divorce, and I was studying law because the lawyers, as unfortunately some of them do, were trying to charge ridiculous amounts of money and didn't... What's weird about England, I don't know what it's like in Dublin, but you go to a lawyer, then you tell them everything and you pay them. And then they tell the barrister everything and then you pay them. And then they go to the courtroom and then you pay again. And it's like, well, why don't I just tell the judge exactly what happened?
Yeah.
And so I did, and it worked, and it was a lot less stressful. And I managed to sort it out and keep everything calm.
The accident that I mentioned in the introduction changed everything. It changed the whole direction of your life.
Yeah, 1993. I'd been working on the front line in the war in the former Yugoslavia.
Yes.
And I'd had 6 miscarriages, 2 ectopic pregnancies. And I went on holiday with my husband at the time, his ex-wife and the kids, as you do.
Yeah.
And found out a lot about the ex-husband, as you do from an ex-wife. And we got on really well, and I decided to give up my superficial life and live in a bedsit for 2 years. Fell in love with the ski instructor, as you do. And then the war broke out. Worked in Yugoslavia for a number of years. Came back to start a charity, and that's when I got involved in landmines and prosthetics. Yeah. But at that point, I hadn't lost my leg. And in 1993, August, sunny Sunday, I was with a friend crossing the street. A police motorcycle came, chopped my leg off, crushed my pelvis, punctured my lung, split my head open, and my leg was lying in the street. And you go into shock when you've had that kind of accident. And my friend, still to this day, Raffaella, was Italian and quite dramatic. And of course, he had a reason to be very dramatic. And he's going, what's up? And he ran into a Chinese restaurant because a doctor came out of the park and said, you know, quickly, get some blankets, get anything. So he ran in. And of course, you're sitting there having your chop suey on a sunny Sunday afternoon. And this crazy Italian comes in and starts pulling all the tablecloths off. And the Chinese waiter's going, what are you doing? He's going, my wife, you know, my girlfriend, she's in the street. And he just saw the leg in the middle of the road. He nearly fainted. And it was just crazy. And then an ambulance came and picked up the policeman who'd sprained his wrist, drove off. And I was like, hello?
Oh, no.
Leg over there, priority. And eventually a helicopter came, landed, took me to the hospital. I didn't have any parents, suffice to say, to fall back on. I was bringing up my brother and sister, funding them. And then the press turned up and wanted the story and thought blonde bimbo in bed. And of course, I was a businesswoman. I was a millionaire by the time I was 19, but I just decided to get involved in charity work. And then I would do stories with the papers, had 7 years, perfect press. And we worked together to create huge differences in charity.
And it was the charity work that led you to that encounter, that fateful encounter with Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day? Or
basically, I'd been offered an award by the Daily Mirror. They were doing their, I think it was the first Mirror Bravery Awards. And I said, I'm not being funny. I said, but I counsel people every day. And we have a forum of 6,000 people now.
Sure.
I said, I've had enough of awards. There's plenty of other people out there. And I have a young lady called Helen. She's lost her arms and legs to meningitis. She was a pianist and a biochemist. You don't get much braver than that. And I've been working with her and she's doing great. Can you give her the award? And they said, well, she's not really known. If you come and give it, I will. So I went to the Mirror Awards and I was really annoyed that all the microphones were up and she couldn't get up, obviously. So I ripped the microphones out, gave them down to Helen for her to accept her award.
Yes.
And then I left and I was off to Cambodia. And when I came back, I heard all these messages like, hey, it's all Paul McCartney, all right, you know, I'd like to meet up with you, like. And I was like, yes, delete, some crazy guy. So this went on for a long time.
You didn't think it was him for real?
No. And he chased me for 3 months. And eventually I gave in because I was just getting over heartbreak from another gentleman. And then we got together and then I fell madly in love. But it was like a long